What it is? How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be reviewing Hot Frosty, the newest Netflix Christmas movie. Got, of course, Lacey Chabert, kidnapping snowmen, sheriffs that are working way too hard, and school dances, the whole shebang. So if you want to hear what we have to say, sit back, relax, grab a snack, grab a beverage, and listen on in to the first ones to die.
Hey everyone, welcome to the first ones to die. I know it's been a couple weeks, but we back, baby.
Actually, I think it's only been. Has it been? No, it's been a couple weeks. You're right. I thought it was going to be at 1 week because I'm so used to, I'm all topsy turvy because we record all this stuff in all types of times and stuff. I'm sorry. I messed up your intro. Go ahead.
It's all right. It's all right. We had a break for the holidays. We got some good food, some good company, and I'm sure we have some good stories. So I am Jonathan, one of your hosts. I'm here with Alex and Jerome. How are y'all doing? Alex, how are you doing?
I'm fine. So, I just thought when you were like, "Oh, we have probably some good," my mind immediately, because I like to sometimes be a Debbie Downer, and I think it's just funny the way I see people react sometimes because I'm an asshole, bit of an asshole. The first thing I thought was like, "Oh, I should tell him my sister's dog is diabetic now."
Oh, I remember you told me this.
Yeah, I'm like, that's so mean and such a downer. He's fine. He's on insulin now. I got to give him his one of his shots, and it was like I was so nervous because I was like, "Oh God, what if
Oh,
I do it wrong? What if I put an air bubble in the needle and give him a heart attack?" That was my biggest fear. It wasn't about the amount
but
of
he's
insulin. I was like,
he's
"He's
he's
fine."
he's still living a good life with the diabetes.
Yeah, with the diabetes, he's
That's
very
right.
pissed because I don't give him treats anymore when I come over to take care of him. So like when he realizes I won't give him a treat, he'll go hide his face and stuff. Be like, "I'm not looking at you." Like,
Ah,
fine.
Oh.
That's rude, but
that's all
okay.
right.
Um,
He's trying to figure it out. It's a new reality now, so he's now trying to learn it all and get acclimated.
I think he's just a little asshole. I've been good. I haven't really watched anything new. I've been rewatching American Dad and Sex and the City, which is two similar yet opposite shows at the same time. They're both
I believe
very
it.
sassy. Yeah, they're sassy characters that get dumber as the series goes on. And as a 33-year-old 33-year-old woman, I don't know, a watch it. No, I am a woman. 33-year-old woman watching Carrie
What is
Bradshaw, who's 30. I
Oh,
don't,
okay, okay.
watching a 35-year-old Carrie Bradshaw like try to navigate life and stuff. First of all, I'm appalled by the financial situation she makes during that entire show. Like that super bothers me. And then secondly, you're 35. You should be smarter than this by now. Like life was also I guess simpler back in like 2008. Well, I will give them that. And then it's always again fun watching old shows and stuff like that and seeing electronics because I was like, "Oh wow. She's using floppy disks to back up her writing." And she's got like the flip phones and everything like that, and that's when the flip phones started getting bejeweled and things like that or bedazzled. So, it's always interesting to see tech in old movies and shows, and you kinda have to remind yourself, you're like, "Oh, wait a minute. Now this is that time period." Then it makes
That's
you
what
feel
that
old.
was.
Yeah.
Mm.
But nothing too much new for me going on, which I always say is kinda nice, especially with the holidays around the corner. I'm extremely tired because work is, always crazy, but, like, my mom's also coming for another visit. It's gonna be my sister's birthday this weekend, or this past weekend, whenever this gets
Oh,
released. I think it's
That's
yeah.
past
cool.
weekend.
Well,
So,
happy early birthday because by the time we do another episode, the birthday will pass. So happy
I think the
birthday.
birthday will pass by the
When
time
it's
this
released.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Time is weird. Time is weird in November and December because 'cause you're like, "We have the holidays, but we're also recording on these weird days to just, like, record." So, but thank you for the early or belated birthday wishes.
Yeah.
But how are you doing, Jonathan?
Good. I'm doing good. Got to go back up to Seattle for Thanksgiving. I unfortunately did not see Jerome because he was having his own travel plans. but I got to see Alex and Lauren on one of the days that I was up there, and that was a lot of
Did
fun.
you
We
see
did a
Jazz?
no, she couldn't make it, but
Gotcha.
next time I
Yeah.
I come up to Seattle, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we had some pizza. We went to the Christmas bar
Oh,
in
yeah.
Seattle, which was really fun. That was really cool. They had it decked out, all Christmas themed. We kept saying, "What is this bar normally like?" Has I? uh,
I think it's
I
just
think
like a
Lauren.
rented space or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it
because it
was it
seemed
was
like it just
actually
appeared out of nowhere.
it did. Well, it was a pop-up bar, which is the first time I've ever seen a bar like that, and they kept calling it a dive bar. Dive bars don't have like $15 drinks or have drinks that are called by Santa's Little Helper. Just saying.
It
Uh
was expensive. Yeah.
they
Hmm.
had Jonathan got this drink, what it was, the beer butter,
Oh, the butterbeer.
yeah, butter beer.
Ooh, I love butterbeer.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just cream soda with like I think like something like caramel syrup, I think, in it or something like that. But it's so damn good.
But
Mhm.
it came in this like the way they got their glassware, they just went to Home Goods and got whatever. I was on discount from the summertime because he got this like
Mm.
golden owl that was like pretty big and like heavy as hell. Like straight up, you could knock somebody over the head with it. I was this close to stealing it. And then I remember I'm not about that life anymore of taking glassware from restaurants because I think it's cool.
And I was also like, this has ice in it, so you'd have to hold it upright because you'd have to put it in your bag upright because it has ice.
Mm.
But I guess you could have just dumped the ice out.
I mean, we were at the top. It has 3 levels, and we were at the top of the stair at the top level, so there wasn't really a place to dump out. Oh, I guess we had drinks. I could have just dumped it in one of our glassware. Damn it! I
Oh,
should have
that's
taken the
true.
owl. I regret not taking the owl. I regret it.
Dang, dang. Well, you'll just have to go back. You'll just have to go back.
I don't know if they see this. I might not. They may not allow me in. They have,
They stop you at the door.
yeah.
But other than that, it was a fun time. Obviously, loved getting to hang out with my family. Um, Other than that, some of the media that I've been consuming, I've been watching a lot of movies. I've been trying to get my movie game up as we
Yeah,
approach
man, with the
award
Oscars
season.
upcoming. Yeah.
Yeah, as we approach award season, I want to actually have it be the year where I actually watch all the nominated stuff, and
And you
hopefully
have
I can get it.
opinions.
Yes, and
Yeah.
hopefully I can get the nominated stuff out before like the nominations actually come out, you know? I know the
Mhm.
Golden Globes came out this week, but I watched a good amount of I've seen a lot of the stuff that's been nominated for Golden Globes. So in that sense I already feel accomplished. Um but on the plane, uh this was my first time in a while flying Delta, and they have a good movie selection. They have so many movies to
Listen,
watch.
Delta's my
Even
favorite airline. If I can fly Delta, I will fly Delta. That is my like go-to. And then like after that, it goes Delta, then Alaska, because Alaska Airlines is
Alaska's my
upgraded.
number one.
And then after Alaska, American, and then United after that. United is
And
my
then
last
anything
resort.
after.
No, and there's nothing after that. After that, I'll walk. I'll gladly. I'm
You
not
will
flying Spirit. That's how you become a Spirit. Okay, I'm not flying Southwest because you ain't gonna
Spirit.
be. You ain't gonna make it there. Like,
I agree with that TikTok I saw where the girl said Spirit doesn't deserve the hate. You're paying a certain amount to get from here to there. You're not paying for customer service. You're
But
not paying for anything.
the thing with Spirit is that they lure you in. You're like, oh, Spirit got some cheap prices. Oh, uh, but my seat ain't included. Oh, my bag ain't included. Oh, if I want some leg room, I got. So yeah, they upcharge way too much. You might
well,
as well end up
admittedly,
paying.
it's not. It's a model that makes sense. But the problem is that because a lot of people don't want to do that, and most other airlines include those services in their stuff, despite how expensive the ticket is. On paper, it seems like it's like, because it's like, yeah, hypothetically, if like you had to pay for every service, but it was affordable, you'd be like the number one airline, because then people would be like, yeah, like it's super cheap. I gotta pay for my ticket, pay for my carry-ons, easy. But because you have to pay so much for those things because they want to compete with the other airlines. That's why it's a problem.
And their
Feel like
customer
we've
service.
gone
And their
really
customer
far
service.
off topic.
anyway, so yeah, Delta, they have a good movie selection. They even had Beetlejuice, which I was cool. But I did not watch that. I watched going there, I watched Long Legs,
Mm.
which
Did you like it?
I thought
I'm
it
sorry.
was okay. I didn't. I wasn't really like enthused about it, and I got spoiled on it. I think I told you guys.
I have not been
Um,
spoiled, so thankfully I have avoided all spoilers for long. I don't know how, but I have, because everyone was talking about that
I
movie.
I will respect they have kept it pretty well hush hush, and like I honestly don't know how satisfied I am with that movie. So I'm not describing it to people. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to describe it. Because if explain a scene from that movie, it's not going to make any sense unless I give this whole ass context to it. Right?
yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then when I was up in Seattle, me and my parents went and saw Gladiator 2.
Ooh, did you like it? I saw it.
I
Well, I was in North
I
Carolina.
Okay, I really liked it. I've heard that it's getting, like mixed reviews. Um, but people's heads get chopped off, you got arms and limbs getting chopped off. And I appreciated that. It was pretty much like, that for 2.5 hours. It was a fun movie, action packed. You got the star-studded cast, and I thought they each held their own and did a good job. So I didn't
Yeah,
expect anything else, I guess. And yeah.
I think the best parts for me, because I liked it too, but I like
I have
that's
not
where kind of
watched
where
it.
that's
I
where
have
it
not had
starts and
time to
ends.
watch it, so be careful with your spoilers.
Like who said I was spoiling the movie? I'm giving my general review. We do it almost every week.
I'm
Anyway,
just saying.
I'm not
I
the one
liked the
that Jerome
movie.
gets mad at for being mad at this.
I'm just saying it's amazing how we keep directing it at one person. Just
That's
saying,
because
with
y'all
all the love I
haters.
have.
That's what. No,
With all the love I have. Just not trying to
anyway,
call
no,
anybody out.
I liked it. But I think for me, my issue with the movie is that the best parts of the movie are the parts that aren't Gladiator 1 again. And, like because
That's what I
because
also,
it
yeah, I also
follows
didn't
a
agree
lot of
too.
the same beats as Gladiator 1, which in a lot of ways, probably for a lot of people, is great because everybody loves Gladiator 1. It's a really great movie. It's super solid, still holds up today with its effects and everything. Both practical, well, it didn't have a lot of visual effects, but it has a lot of practical effects that still hold up to this day. So in that way, like it's great. But I think like the problem with this movie is that a lot of the stuff they do that's like, hey, remember this from Gladiator 1? It holds back this movie from getting its chance to kind of be something new. But the new stuff is amazing when you see it. And even if it's not historically accurate, because some people have called out this movie for some things that they're like, that's some bullshit.
Who
There is no way they were doing,
who's
because the
watching
first one is
Gladiator 2 for sort of
because the first
accuracy?
one was a
Right.
lot more historically accurate. This one is like, man, fuck all the history. We're just doing what we want to do.
And
What sounds like a cool scene to just do. And
I
so,
I didn't care. Denzel is fully
yeah, I
talking
didn't
with his New
care.
York
I was like,
accent. So
whatever. I was like, look, I don't care if Denzel's accent leaves and comes and goes like the wind. It's still fun to see him in a gladiator setting in ancient Rome.
yeah.
So it
So
was good. It was relatively good. I would definitely like watch it again. Like I think Gladiator 1 is the movie I put on when I want to be like, this is filmmaking. Gladiator 2 is the movie I want to put on when I'm like, man, I'm just here for the action. I want to see people like fight. That's it. That's all I want.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So saw that. on the plane ride back, I watched a movie called The Teacher's Lounge. It was one of the movies that was nominated for the foreign film Oscar last year.
Hmm.
It's out of Germany. Uh, it was really good. It's basically about the school. There are people who are some they're trying to find out who is stealing from the school. Like people, there's someone stealing money from people at the school, and they're essentially just trying to figure that out. And it becomes this kind of war between the teachers and the students, and um, yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Reminds me of that movie in with Hugh Jackman, but it's based off of I don't know if this is based off a true story, but that movie with Hugh Jackman that's based off a true story in which he's a principal and they're trying to investigate money missing from a school district in that state.
Mm,
Really good movie. If you haven't seen it, I'll look it up and see what it is. But anyway, go ahead.
okay. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a similar plot. Maybe it was like, I don't know, inspired or something by it. But
Bad Education. That's what it was called in 2019.
mm,
Yeah, it was an
okay,
HBO movie, but it was really good.
okay. Watch that. Watch a couple other things, but I won't get into them. But one of the movies that I saw last week in theaters was Night Bitch.
Oh, how'd you
The
like it? Did you like it?
I did. I did. I was not expecting it to be as comedic as it actually was. I thought it was going to be very like
Serious?
dramatic.
The
Yes.
title is Night Bitch. How
I know.
serious do you expect it to be?
Look,
Isn't it
it's been getting some
psychological?
Oscar buzz. Typically, comedic movies don't get too much Oscar buzz. So I was, and it's based off a book. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be some serious, but it has a very like it has a very important message in it.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's I thought it was pretty good. Sorry, what Alex, what were you gonna ask?
I said it's like a serious or like a psychological film, right? Technically?
Kind of. It's basically the overlying premise is this mom thinks she's turning into a dog, or she may or may not be turning into a dog.
Hmm. Yeah,
Hmm,
that's what the trailer looked like.
Hmm.
no. Wasn't there already a movie like that, or have I just seen the trailer for that?
You might be thinking of the
Where
Shaggy Dog, in which a dude becomes a dog.
no, that one I have yet to watch, but do want to watch because I love to see the dog
when
punch the
it's
guy
when it's a
and box.
human dude just running down the street.
I want to see him where
Just
he's like
a
boxing.
man in a dog suit. It's like did y'all think this was convincing? Because this damn sure is not.
Man in a mock costume. But no, that sounds just like a genuinely interesting movie.
It was. Amy Adams did a great job. And shout out to the kid, it's actually twins who play her son. The twins did a good job as well, and the son's like, I don't know, 2 years old in the movie, but did a good job as well. Shout out to the kid.
Hmm,
Um, and that's it for me for my movie watching stuff. I also have to say that I bought a new chair that I'm sitting in right now. I've been telling you guys that I've been wanting the crisscross chair from TikTok, and I got it. I love it. It's
nice.
so comfortable. I can sit crisscross. I'm not currently right now, but it's so roomy. The seat and the back are so roomy. They're very comfortable, and no more squeaking. No more like going like this midway through the podcast because like my seat is
Tec-
going down.
Technically,
So
you
if
never did the plop. You just did a slow descent.
Yeah, it was a slow slow
so
descent.
makers of the
Yeah,
crisscross chair, if you could sponsor us, Jonathan will be glad to do a video or a TikTok just explaining how great the chair is. We just got his review. He loves it. And yeah, send us money.
Absolutely. And that's it for me. Jerome, how have you been? What's been going on with you?
It's been good. I also traveled during Thanksgiving. I went to I'm as those who are fans of this podcast know, I'm from South Carolina originally, but my family currently lives in North Carolina. So I went there to spend time with my mom and my sister and my brother-in-law. It was a fun time. We had a great time, just like, doing the things, going to church. We went to my aunt's place for Thanksgiving. It was great. Uh, had a semi non-traditional Thanksgiving. We didn't have turkey, but we did fry fish. So that was cool. So some southern fried fish was dope. And ham and collard greens and all the stuff was on the table. It was fantastic. Me and my mom watched a lot of TV. We watch a lot of reality shows when I'm with my mom because she doesn't like a lot of the dramatic shows I like. And she watches a
Game
lot.
shows. Me and my mom.
Yeah, and she watches a lot of
We do.
because I tried to turn her on to Abbott Elementary, but she wasn't feeling it. And uh she a lot of what she watches is just, gospel podcasts. Um so
I don't mean to interrupt you, but did anybody else watch the last episode, the Christmas episodes of Abbott Elementary?
yes.
I haven't.
Yes, I did actually.
I have
Okay.
not. I need to
Janine
catch up.
Okay. Did Janine really quick, Jerome, did Janine annoy the hell out of you in that Christmas episode?
No, not really. But I
Really?
mean it's because I'm
She
just
was
kind of like
bothering the fuck out of me with the way she was acting towards Gregory. She was acting bratty is what she was acting. I'm just saying, you need to catch up because I need to complain. But
Okay,
continue.
I'm gonna catch up.
Well, yeah.
But so that was that. We watched actually a lot of she used to watch Glow Up a lot, the makeup reality competition show on Netflix. It's a fun time, because it's like I have like growing up, like going to art school and like doing art things. Like for me, well, not art school, but arts college. It's like I like that's just ingrained in me, even though I don't really do a lot of drawing and illustration anymore. And uh so like whenever we watch stuff like makeup shows or other artistic things, that's my reality show because I can chime in. I can like I know what I'm looking at and I can like and I could see the artistry and be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what they're talking about, even if I don't know the exact techniques or whatever. And so we watched that show, and then we also watched a show on Netflix that I didn't realize I would get into, but she was using my Netflix account the whole weekend and she got into it. So I started getting into it, which was watching Blown Up, which is a glass blowing competition show on Netflix that originally was made in Canada and then Netflix bought it and now it's a Netflix show. And it's very short. The episodes are pretty short. They don't have huge casts either. And it's just a bunch of glass blowers. But the stuff they make, I'm like, dang man, you can make all this with glass? This is awesome. Like seeing some of the artistry and some of the stuff they come up with, I'm like, this is beautiful. I thought glass blowing it started and ended up making vases and like really elaborate art structures. I didn't know you could make like textures and you can make whole like models and statues and all types of stuff. Like the stuff they come up with in that show is incredible, and it's just truly like unique and different. If you haven't watched Blown Up and you're into like reality competition shows, watch Blown Up. It's a fun time. And there's
I
seasons and a Christmas special, or a Christmas special season anyway, with like 4 episodes.
Speaking of, there's a Christmas season, I guess, of Is It Cake that's out on Netflix right now as well.
Yeah, they like
And
their Christmas
I like that show.
specials for the
They
reality
do.
shows.
I,
Also, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, sorry. I was just gonna say on that note of getting sucked into watching stuff on Netflix when you go and visit your parents. Um, I remember a couple years ago when I visited. I think it was like in September sometime. Um, and my dad was watching I think it's called Extreme Vacation Rentals or something like that. We watched like the whole like 2 of the seasons the whole time I was there because it was that engaging. It's basically like these 3 people who go around literally around the world, um or around the country, around the world. I don't know. Around the world looking at these like really cool vacation rental homes. So, yeah, that's that. Netflix has some very wide-ranging interesting stuff.
I also think in reality shows, I also started and then stopped because I got bored watching Naked and Afraid in Love, the Love spin-off version of Naked and Afraid.
I that sounds
That's even too much for me.
icky.
That's
It's
That's
well,
that
see,
gives me
like
the ick. Ugh.
it plays on the thoughts that I'm sure many people who watch Naked and Afraid have, which is, hey, have any of the Naked and Afraid cast members ever tried to hook up? And they were like, don't worry, my boy, we got you. Here's a whole show about basically that, where it's still Naked and Afraid, but they also can like bring an item with them and stuff, so they can like put the moves
but
on. And
the
and then the whole purpose of this show is not to just survive, but also to find your match. And it is
so that's even
so
harder because the reason why people don't, hook up is it's the same with Survivor too. You rarely see it's always notable if there's like a showmance on Survivor because it rarely happens because you're trying to survive. Like you can't be out here looking for love. You'll get bit up that way and die.
Also,
well, they
like,
sent them
what
to a
items do
location
you
without too
bring?
many. They sent them to locations that don't have too many like outside factors. Like they don't have a bunch of bugs and stuff. It's not like the regular show. They sent them to like basically a vacation island, just without the like stuff. Without
But
there's no hotel or nothing. But there's also no like major bugs or major animals or anything like that. Like it's very just coconuts, bananas, and wilderness basically, and beaches.
my concern is, like, what items the personal items you bring. If somebody brings a ukulele, where are they carrying that?
Oh no, one
Like, I
dude
can
did who was from, and it was sad because it was a white boy from South Carolina. He brought a guitar as his personal item, so he could play his guitar and woo the ladies.
What was
And
her
one dude,
reaction?
she was into it, like because the way the show starts is
Oh,
that
it's
they send pairs, one woman, one man, and they put them on different parts of I think 3 islands, and they put them on different beaches. And so you start out in just regular pairs. As the show goes on, eventually, which they make it seem like it's their idea, but the reality is that it's like the show producers being like, "Hey, maybe you should go to another part of the island so you can meet the others." Because some of the couplings they start out and they're like, "Oh man, I like this person. I just want to hang out with them." And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, well, we feel like we've exhausted stuff here. We need to go someplace else. And I'm like, why? Didn't you say earlier that you liked hanging with this one person? Why do you feel the need to have to go anywhere else? You have everything you need. Shelter, food, and you're only going to be here for a limited amount of time until they take you back when the show's over. But it's so that they can have some interesting drama so you can meet new people that'll bring a new dynamic to the group and have everyone come together. But I stopped watching because it got to the point where, like, for example, 4 out of the like I think there was like 10 or 12 of them, but like 6 of them go home without coupling at all because they're like, A, I can't really hook up with anybody, and like as far as like, get some alone time with anyone to really connect with them. And B, like I got other things I'm focusing on, and also I don't think they put this show through. How most reality show love reality shows, they have like a psychiatrist or something do a lot of the pairings to make sure that there's people who more or less like a person for another person, even though they are going to hook up with other people. Like the group should stay pretty solid. I don't think they did that for this show because there's a couple dudes in particular. I'm like, there is nobody here for you. Like, based off of what you say you want in a relationship, there's no way anybody here would match with you really, realistically. But I don't know. There's only been one season, and I
oh, I
don't
guess it'd only
anticipate it
be
having
one
other
season.
seasons. Yeah, I don't see them having because I don't think the show's super popular either. So anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff I watched while I was on vacation, though. I'm gonna rattle through some of it because some of it's not really all that important and it's smaller things. First of all, Arcane season 2 finally wrapped up. It was good. It's a nice ending to the show. I think the artistry and the animation was beautiful. If you're a huge Arcane fan, watch Arcane. It's good. Also started watching Skeleton Crew, the new Star Wars show. That's Stranger Things and Star Wars. It's fun. It's only got 2 episodes out. I don't know, give it a shot. Like I'm not like super impressed yet, but I'm not hating on it. It just hasn't really grabbed me yet. Same thing with Creature Commandos, the new DC show from James Gunn, which is supposed to be the start of the DC universe proper that he's starting over at Warner Brothers. It's all right. If you like Suicide Squad and you like Peacemaker, you'll like Creature Commandos because it's a lot of the same. That's just my opinion on it. We'll see where it goes from here. Also started watching Interior Chinatown on Hulu. Really interesting show. I don't know where it's going just yet. The whole thing's out on Hulu, so I'm making my way through it. But it's based off a book, and the premise of the show is basically Jimmy Yang, I think his name is. The comedian is the main character. He plays basically the premise of the show is based off the book. Yeah, Jimmy O Yang. He plays a man who works at a Chinese restaurant, but the plot of the story is that basically it's like he's the background character of a Chinese restaurant in a police procedural who is trying to become the main character of the police procedural. And so it's really interesting how they play with like lighting and kind of camera angles. Like when the police detectives, who are clearly the main characters of the police procedural, are there, everything goes widescreen and it's really like blue. Like the color grading of the show is blue, almost like your stereotypical police procedural. And it's really interesting. But then when we come back to our regular show, it looks completely different. It's really cool. And there's also a bit where like he knows how to fight, but he's terrible at it because the plot won't allow him to win a fight because he's not supposed to win. He's supposed to lose because he's just a background character. He's supposed to get his ass kicked so that the police can come and solve the crime. So it's really interesting. Interior Chinatown, I'm having a lot of fun with the show. And I think if you're into like really interesting different plots, kind of like stuff like that movie with Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction.
American Fiction.
Yeah, if you like something like that, which kind of plays around with storytelling, Interior Chinatown is right up your alley. It'll be interesting. Plus, mostly Asian cast also, so it's really fun. I watched also Invisible Fight Girl, new cartoon on HBO. It's fun if you like anime, but you want to have a black main character be the focus. Great show. It's about wrestling. It's a really fun cartoon. Dune Prophecy is going well. It's at season 4, episode 4 at the time of this recording, and it's Dune. It's still not like hooking me really as like a really good show. It's very much trying to be the new Game of Thrones, which Dune could be, but I'm not really attached to any characters yet. But the plot's interesting at least, so it's keeping me interested in that way. So we'll see. Watch The Piano Lesson. So if you're a big August Wilson fan and you like black plays, or if you're a big play fan, watch The Piano Lesson. Also watched Wicked in theaters.
Also saw Wicked.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Nice.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry, but I did enjoy it very much so. As a big Wicked fan, I thought it was really good. As
There
Did
was
it feel
no.
long to either of you?
Oh no, it is long. It's long, and it's because they add so much
I
book stuff from the
so
book into this movie, so it makes it feel long. Yeah,
going
definitely.
in, I knew it was it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. It flew by for me. I flew by like Elphaba on her broom for me because like it flowed very well. And I've never seen the musical. I've never seen Wicked on stage.
You never seen Wicked? Oh
Mm-mm.
man, you know what? They're gonna
So
be in LA in this. I think this
they're
month and
they're
in
there right
January.
now.
If we
I
have the
used
money, we'll make a trip and we'll all see it in
Well,
LA
let's go
together.
down. I wanna go see
Hey,
it.
Yeah, it'll be
hey, y'all
fun.
should fly. Y'all should come down.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Because because I don't know. We haven't talked about the London trip in a minute, so
We're
I don't
not
know if
going to
that's.
London. I don't think it's too late in the game.
Let's
But if
go in
we
April around my birthday.
Mhm.
hey, I'll be down for that.
Yeah.
Wait,
um,
I'm going to Coachella in April.
You know
we'll
what?
go
I'm
we'll
done with
go
all of you.
We'll go in the summertime maybe or something. You know what I mean? Make a
And
summertime trip.
it'll be a Jerome birthday present, belated Alex birthday present, belated me birthday present too. Because well, we all have birthdays kind of in the same time
Like
range.
one
Vicinity.
Kind
after the other,
of.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
But
Anyway,
But
off
Wicked
track.
Wicked was dope. I loved the music. I thought Cynthia Erivo does great. Ariana Grande is great. However, I I don't want to hate Michelle
But you're
Yeoh and
going
Jeff
to.
Goldblum. They weren't doing it for me. Like acting, yes.
What?
Characters, their characters, phenomenal. When they had to do the singing and the dancing, that's when I was like, listen, y'all ain't getting it. Y'all done reduced their songs. And here's the thing: neither of y'all have seen the play. Okay, I've seen the play. Their songs are great too, and they couldn't do it because neither of them are singers
They could
I
have
or
will
they
dancers
say
they
in Jeff
could have
Goldblum's style.
they could have stood there and burped, and I will still give Michelle Yeoh
I
and
love
Jeff
them as
Goldblum their
actors,
flowers.
I will
and when they're
always
just
defend Michelle
acting
Yeoh.
and
I
when they're
will
just
say
doing
Jeff
the
Goldblum
lines,
fell a
that
little
part's
flat
good.
though. I will say Jeff Goldblum did fall flat. Michelle Yeoh,
I will
no, she
not
was
stand for
fantastic.
this Jeff Goldblum slander.
Yeah, I
If
love
I'm
that man.
comparing it to the play, I wanted the Wizard song, and they couldn't do it because Jeff Goldblum, that's not him. But he's fine. And that's where it is. That's where I'm like, the line delivery is great. The way they do their lines is fantastic. And the effects look awesome. But the singing and dancing, that's where I was like, you lose points for me. Because
I
everybody
will
else can do it. The dude playing Fiero, SpongeBob Boy, Cynthia Erivo, and Ariana
SpongeBob
Grande,
boy.
SpongeBob
they're
boy.
delivering on the song and dance,
I just
okay?
I
It's
might
like
like
when
I
Mr.
just
Krabs said, "Sponge boy me Bob."
He doesn't get credits because he broke up a happy marriage.
All right, Alex, what were you gonna say?
I don't even know what I was gonna say anymore. I was gonna try to say something nice about Jeff Goldblum, but like
I mean, it was
not
his marriage,
wrong.
but still.
Jerome, what else you
Wasn't that
got?
happy then? Nope.
Anyway, also I saw on the plane ride coming back home, I watched this Superman, the Christopher Reeves story, the documentary about Christopher Reeves made by HBO and DC Studios, technically, even though I'm like, the documentary is not about Superman, like the movie Superman. It's in there because Christopher Reeves is a big role for Christopher Reeves, but the documentary is not about Superman at all. So I don't know why DC is the one who put it together, but nonetheless, I guess it's because it's his most famous role anyway. But the documentary itself is well put together, and his kids are the main part of the documentary because Christopher Reeves and his wife as well have passed away. The other woman he had his other son with is still alive, so she was in the documentary as well. But it was just a beautiful documentary. I almost cried. It was just such a good story talking about Christopher Reeves. I will say, depending on how you look at it, because it is a complicated story with Christopher Reeves, being that like yes, he did a lot of humanitarian work, but only after he was in the position that he was in. So you could argue, was he doing it because he was a good guy, or doing it because now that he's in that position, this is he was doing it in an effort to like help himself walk again, as opposed to like, but regardless of the reasoning for why Christopher Reeves did what he did, he still raised a lot of money for a lot of programs that have helped a lot of people who have been paralyzed from the neck down to be able to walk again, or at the very least get feeling back in their nerves and things like that. So it was a beautiful story to see that documentary and learn more about him and about his wife as well. They talk a lot about his wife's um, humanitarian work as well, and how much she loved him, and you can really feel it through a lot of the stories, and even through some of the old footage they have, on camcorders and things, of their relationship, of his wife loving on him and stuff. So if you haven't seen Superman, a Christopher Reeve story, it's on HBO Max now. It's a great movie, a great documentary. I can't recommend it enough. It was really a really beautiful movie. And last thing I saw while we're talking about a Netflix Christmas movie, another one you should watch if you enjoyed Hot Frosty, we'll get to in a bit, is Meet Me Next Christmas. Also fun, starring Christina Milian. It was actually a fun movie. You've probably seen it on TikTok. There's been some memes about the dance scene where he's like, and it's in this and this and this and this and this and this. Like it's a fun movie. It's a fun Christmas movie. Me and my mom watched it while we were on the couch. So if you want looking for another Netflix Christmas movie to watch this season, meet me next Christmas. It's fun. And then
I
some.
also have.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I also have to say it didn't come out this year, but it's on Netflix. Netflix is, is getting our props today. Because they don't always. But
They're not.
Looking at you, Mike Tyson.
At least you can stream this stuff.
The
right. If you want to watch a good Netflix limited series that is Christmas themed, Dash and Lily. I really enjoyed that show. And there's only one season. It did not get a season 2. So it's a good show. It came out a few years ago. I think 2020 maybe. So yeah.
All
Go
right.
watch that.
Cool.
Just some quick media news stuff, just a few trailers that came out most recently. We have, first of all, we just got a new teaser for Invincible season 3. It's coming out next year. It looks good. I'm excited. Invincible season 2 was pretty decent. Me and Alex did a review for Invincible season 2 this year. I'm glad season 3 is coming out so soon. It looks good. Animation looks tight. So I'm excited for Invincible season 3. We also just got a trailer for 28 Years Later, the newest
I saw that
movie.
today.
Yeah, part of the franchise, starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, and Ray Fiennes. Looks good. If you like
So good.
28 Days and 28 Weeks Later, and it's directed by Danny Boyle once again, who directed the first two. So it looks like it's going to live up to the franchise and be like a nice continuation of the story. So I actually legitimately have not seen 28 Weeks or 28 Days Later. So I need to watch those so I can catch up.
Wow. It is so
'Cause
good.
I'm not
so
a horror movie fan. When those were coming out, I
Those
wasn't
are
watching
such
horror movies.
good movies. They're just genuinely good movies. Oh my god, I'm so excited for 28 Years Later.
Yeah,
It's
I'm excited to take
awesome.
the journey to watch those before watching 28 Years Later because it looks like a really good movie. And then we also got a trailer for The Gorge, a new movie that is being made for Apple TV Plus, but will be in theaters, starring Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy, in which there are these two snipers on the opposite end of a gorge. And it's kind of a romance story, but also there's this fantasy element because there's possibility inside the gorge is the doorway to hell, and that's what they're protecting on opposite sides of their at their sniper towers. It looks really interesting and cool. I don't know. I don't remember when it comes out. I think it says here when it comes out. I don't see it here, but it comes out next year, regardless. It comes out next year. We also got a trailer for The Brutalist, which looks good, from A24. Comes out next year, January 23rd. It looks good. I've heard nothing but good things and heard a lot of Oscar buzz for Adrian Brody and for Guy Pearce, who play in the movie. It looks good. It's also from A24, so a lot of people are excited because of that as well. So, Brutalist. I've also heard it's long, so just know that it's long. It's a long movie. We also have a trailer for, sorry, not a trailer. We had a trailer for Black Doves, which we didn't talk about. That came out much later. It's now currently on Netflix. Action movie starring Keira Knightley and a lot of other action ladies as well. So watch Black Doves if you get a chance. And for some kid movie news, we got a new trailer for Snow White. It's not good. People are not. No, I'm not talking about the
That
trailers.
still hasn't come out yet?
No, it comes out
I
March
know, it feels like
1st of next year.
feels like it
But
should have come out already. Yeah.
people are not
Right?
feeling it. People are not feeling Snow White. They're not feeling Rachel Ziegler. They're not feeling anything involved with this movie. The dwarves look terrible. The CG on them looks rough. Which you could tell it was a last minute decision because originally the movie was not going to have dwarves. It was going to have various people. And then of color and races and of races and sizes, what I meant to say. And then they last minute decided against that decision when everyone was like, fuck no, it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Put them damn dwarves in there.
Makes
And
sense.
still very much is like, looks like it's gonna be a like Snow White is a like a rebel going against the queen. We're not gonna do the prince story where the prince fights her as a dragon and stuff. I don't know, man. I'm not watching it anyway. I wasn't really into the Snow White movie from the beginning, but it looks like it's just going to be a completely, it's going to have the Mulan treatment of being a completely different movie than what it's supposedly based off of, which is the Disney Snow White
So
movie.
basically,
So
it's just Snow White, the Kristen Stewart Snow White, but in the Snow White dress. That,
virtually, that's what it
yellow,
looks
blue
like.
thing going
Yeah.
on.
And less action, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't know where they're going with this. It looks like it's a movie that's going to be Snow White in name only, which is upsetting for a lot of people for various reasons. For me, it's more just a thing where I'm like, I mean, the whole point of y'all doing this was just to make these stories again. I don't see why you're making these changes now. Like it's going to matter only for you to then try and renege on them because you still want to do the stuff where she still sings the songs. She still, the dwarves still look like they did in the original animated movie. They still do the like, the crone witch thing where she tries to poison Snow White with an apple. Like you're still trying to have your cake and eat it too. I don't think it's going to work. I think this movie is just going to be a mess. I don't know. We'll see when it comes March.
The thing is, they had a Cinderella remake. I think it was one of the most recent ones where they were able to change it up so it wasn't that she was just waiting for her prince. She was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
the
accept
one
me
with
as I
Camila
am."
Cabello.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Is it the one where
no.
she's a
No, that's the one
no
people didn't
blonde,
like.
still a blonde
The
woman,
one
still a
with
blonde woman.
Lily, what's her name? Lily.
That's the Cinderella remake that Disney did. Lily
In
Rose, or not Lily James. Lily
Lily
James.
James,
Yeah.
yeah.
They were able to remake that one, and it was actually really good. Costume was good, and, like, she was still able not to, just solely be dependent on the man. She was like, "Take me as I am, a servant girl, basically." And he's like, "Well, take me as I am, a person who's trying to learn how to do their job." And that was, like, a nice little change, a nice little sentiment. Now, it's like when they try to remake these Disney movies, they're like, "Okay, we're gonna have the princess as a heroine." Cool, but you can't change a princess story, make her a heroine, but ignore all the other portions other than, like, the songs and the tacky outfits that you're not willing to make better. Because I can tell you, Snow White's a heroine. She's not wearing that lumpy yellow blue dress with a bunch of ribbons. That's not her fighting outfit.
Well, that's the thing. They want to they want to have their cake. It's just like with the Little Mermaid, where they made the change where Ariel is the one who kills Ursula, despite the fact that the whole reason that in the story in the original movie, Triton sees sees reason and decides to let Eric marry Ariel is because Eric sacrifices himself to save Triton and kills Ursula. There's a reason he's the one that does it. It's not a sexist thing of women can't do it. It's no, now
The
that Triton
man
sees,
proves
oh,
he's
a
worthy.
human made a sacrifice for a
Yeah.
mermaid. Maybe they can change. And it's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you're gonna make the changes, you gotta change the story. Jungle Book
And
understood that. That's why that movie is completely different. But it's good because they own up to the changes. They're like, okay, well, if we're changing the story, screw it. Nothing from the original is staying. We're changing everything, which is fine.
anyway,
But you gotta make a choice. You can't do one or the other, or you can't do both. You've either got to make all the changes that changes the story completely, but make something fresh and new, or don't make the changes and make the story the exact same. That's your options.
Well, speaking of changes, what
Oh, hold
happens
on, hold on. I'm
when
not done. I got a few more. Got two
man,
more.
this was gonna be a good transition
yeah, I
too.
Two
think yeah,
more.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
I
I'm
think
sorry. No, no. Listen, you can still make that transition because the last two. Number one, we got a teaser for Lilo and Stitch, the live action version. It looks okay. It's really just Stitch running through a sandcastle, so it's not much. But you get to see him in the environment. Looks a lot better than I thought it would, actually, all things considered. But that's literally all we have to go off of. There's nothing else in the trailer. So we don't have like dialogue or see other characters. It's just Stitch on the beach running through a sandcastle. That's it. And like at the same time, talking about characters, like we also got a trailer for a movie that I'm adding to the why pile in my brain. Is a live action version of How to Train Your Dragon. And I'm like, looking at the trailer, I was like, does it look like the movie How to Train Your Dragon? Absolutely. The CG looks great on Toothless. The cast is pretty interesting, including Gerard Butler, who is reprising his role as Hiccup's father in the live action version, just like he did the voice in the animated movie. But my question, why? If we're just these movies are still relatively fresh in people's minds and the children's minds who enjoy these movies. It's not like they've been out for decades or something. They've been out for like probably a single digit amount of years. At the very least, the last one might be 10 years, or the first one might be maybe over close to 10 years, if not over 10 years. But they're still new, and we're already doing live action versions of the movie, and it's the exact goddamn same. The only difference is that Astrid is black now. That's it. That's a black actress is playing Astrid. That's the only change they've made so far.
Well, I'm just waiting for Claudia with the Chance of Meatballs live action.
I'm sorry,
I
Jonathan. I don't
would
know if they're gonna do
love that.
It'd be fun, but I don't know if they're gonna do
That'd
it.
be so great. Who would play the cop? Who would play he's one of the best parts of the movie.
Probably Terry Crews.
Maybe Terry Crews.
That seems like a
that's who
Terry
they would
Crews
get.
role.
He could do the voice and he has the size. He would definitely
Yeah, but
be
he
the one
can't do I don't feel like he could do that run. And it's that run. It's that run that makes
Okay,
the
how
everything up.
about okay, someone who's been getting who fits the archetype and has been getting into movies lately, Marshawn Lynch.
Hmm.
I like it.
That'd be
I feel
fun.
like he would
Different
be
casting.
good.
Yeah, but he'd have to cut the dreads, and he ain't gonna do that.
The dreads
They
are
could
fine.
yeah.
I need you to do the run and do that whole it's almost enough sight to bring a man to tears. But not this man. I
But
don't know why I love that tune.
I don't know. I'm just like, I'm kind of over the live action thing, man. And it made me laugh because literally it's like we talked about in our remakes video where like there's tons of people who will complain and be like, they're making another remake. It's so soulless. And they're just doing the same thing over again. Here comes the How to Train Your Dragon trailer. And because Toothless looks cute, and Hiccup's doing the thing where he turns his back and he puts his hand out and then he turns his hand and then Toothless puts his little face in there and they're like, oh, it looks so cute. Oh, it looks so good. Fuck y'all. Okay.
No, you know
Where
what?
have y'all are the first ones to
soulless.
complain about this
No,
shit. And now y'all want to eat it up.
It's not soulless. It looks good. Has a reaction. You're
It
not like,
is
what the fuck is
soulless
this?
because it's the
It's
exact
not.
same movie again. It's Lion King all over again. We have learned
Yeah, but
the
now
lesson.
it looks like I can actually have Toothless in my living room, and I want that so
You
badly.
can buy the plushies. You'll have
No,
them right
the only
there
thing I can get is
sitting
a
on the
black
bed.
cat. All I can get is a black cat. That's the closest thing I can get. Do you think this fucker's gonna share my attention? Look at that man. Look at that spoiled man.
No,
He's not gonna share my
this is
love.
just more of the same. It's just DreamWorks doing it instead of Disney. It's the same thing. They're making another movie that they know they
And
can
I
get your
would
money
trust
from easily.
DreamWorks above Disney with a remake. Also, my phone's about to die, so I'm gonna be right back. I gotta get a charger.
All right,
Give me a second.
Jonathan, do you have opinions on How to Train Your Dragon, the live action movie?
I do not. I probably won't see it, but if I do, yeah.
Look, I'm tired of this, okay? I want original content from DreamWorks. I want original content from Disney in live action form. If y'all got the money to spend to remake a movie you've already made just with real people, you've got the money to spend to maybe give a
They don't want to take
writer
the
or
risk.
producer. I don't give a damn. Grow some damn nuts, okay? like take some damn risks. First of all, because you're running out of ideas. That's why Disney's doing a goddamn movie about the white man in Aladdin,
Aladdin.
in a live action movie.
When is that
All
movie
right?
coming out? I feel like we've been talking about it for
I don't
like
think it's actually
years.
coming out. I think it's an idea that was just on that Wikipedia page. I haven't heard nothing about that movie.
Let's see. I'm
We're
gonna
talking
look
Prince
up
Anders movie.
The Prince and what?
The movie about the white dude in Aladdin.
Oh, I think that was just to piss people off. I hope so. Also, let's
Oh,
talk about sexy snowman.
There's an article from January of 2024 that says Aladdin spinoff Prince Anders still in the works at Disney. They had to give us an update, I guess, because other people were wondering too.
Look, I'm just saying I want some changes. I want some transitions from the bullshit that we have been getting into a new era of film where we're getting new content that's fresh, that the generation after the kids that are currently the current generation can be like, oh, those are our Disney classics. Those are our DreamWorks classics. They're not getting that shit. They're getting all of our shit. I'm selfish. I want it to my damn self. Y'all get your own. Okay? Oh no, my brother, you gonna have to get your own. All right? That's how I feel.
You know what I
You know
want?
who else?
Sexy snowman.
Hey,
You took Jonathan's thing. I said him
I
up
know.
perfectly.
I was gonna say, you know who else? You know who else wanted something to her own? Lacey Chabert. She wanted this snowman to her own in this movie.
You're taking too long. I want to talk
I
about
set
sexy
him up
snowman.
perfectly, and Alex just came and stole your thunder.
Told you all you should never trust me.
Hot Frosty. Hot Frosty.
Finally, we come around to Hot Frosty.
Like it's not you who's
It was
Frosty's melted by now. Frosty's melted by now, but Hot Frosty is the newest Netflix, as Jerome said in the intro, the newest Netflix Christmas movie. It is about a widow. Her name is Kathy. She magically brings a snowman to life. His innocence helps her heal and find love again. They bond before the holidays, but he's doomed to melt. This stars Lacey Chabert, Dustin Milligan, and
Craig Robinson.
many other people who that's right. Craig Robinson, many other people. The IMDb is very much out of order, so I'm not going to name everybody because Chriselle Staus, she was in this, but she only had a couple lines. Anyway, Hot Frosty, if this is your first time watching one of our reviews, we do our non-spoiler thoughts first, our general overview. Did we like it? Did we not? And then we will go into spoilers.
Oh, also,
Alec,
this is directed by Jerry Ciceriti, Russell Hainline, and the description is: Widow Kathy magically brings a snowman to life. His innocence helps her heal and find love again. They bond before the holidays, but he's doomed to melt.
Jerome, I definitely already read that.
I know. I just wanted to do it again. I'm sorry. I wanted to jump in.
Anyways, Alex, what were your thoughts?
enjoyed it. I have fun, but I always have fun with these Christmas movies. One of my favorite thing to do when I watch these Christmas movies is to see how many tropes I can find in there. I don't want to list them all because that's like giving major spoilers. But yeah, it's always fun to see. And I think I counted about like 10 or so Christmas tropes in this movie. So that's, that's a good number. That's a good number. Also, it just made me wonder who built the sexy snowman because they never clear that up in the movie. They never say who. There's no like plaque about it. Who? Because all the other snowmen in the movie, normal, round guys. But somebody really was like, I'm winning this contest. I'm gonna bring home the, I don't know, fresh apple pie that's gonna be the prize or something. I don't know. But they were all in for it, and I respect that. They were like, I'm gonna sculpt this man. And it was just
right.
Yeah,
And you
Look,
would
the
think
rest of y'all are playing around with it. I take my shit seriously. All right. I'm trying to make y'all, I'm trying to make the next like Renaissance man.
right. And shouldn't it have been a plot that once the snowman came to life, the snowman is gone. So as the artist, I'd be like, Who destroyed my snowman? All right, what happened to my snowman? And then
See, no,
I
they'd be
get
angry. They'd be like,
disqualified.
"You jealous bitches? Cause y'all couldn't make art. Y'all had to destroy mine. Everybody else has stayed up. Who did this? y'all
I
just
mean,
mad cause y'all
you
don't have
took
the
time
artistry."
to like carve out a chisel out a jawline, but you're not upset that your snowman's gone the next day.
Right.
Abdominals, pectorals, everything. They had trapezius muscles, like
They
trapezius
did.
muscles in defined form.
Right. And it's a small town, so the person who did it
Yeah.
has to live. They have to know they have to have known who did it.
Right, which they never go back to that competition anyway. They're just like, man, screw the competition. It's not important anymore.
What it was
It's
the
just to set
snowman
up the story.
winter. I still want to watch that one movie that had
Maybe
that like long competition name, the Jingle Hall Winter Festival Pie Making Dance Festival and Skating Competition. I gotta find that. I want to watch that movie. But anyway, um, it was I think it was a pretty decent movie for what it for what it was for being called Hot Frosty. It had a surprising amount of well-known actors in it, and that's not something you usually get with like these Christmas films. You get like the headliner, main actor and the main character, or you get somebody who pops up just randomly in the story who is going to be significantly important because they're such a well-known actor. This whole cast is actually pretty well known. Craig Robinson was just hilarious through this whole thing. He played all his lines perfectly to the character that was made for him. And if anything, I think he was the best actor in this. And of course, but I think everybody did their acting well, but he's definitely was the top tier for me in this film. But what about you, Jerome? What'd you think?
Uh, I thought it was fun. It's fine. It's regular movie. For like the Christmas time, something that you'd watch on the Hallmark Channel. Just the difference is it's on Netflix. It's inoffensive. Like it's fine. Like I'm not gonna say this is like like the best movie ever, but I didn't expect it to be. I expected it to just kind of be like a nice, warm, toasty, like sit down with your girlfriend on date night and during the Christmas season, or sit down with your girlfriends, or hang out with your mom or whoever enjoys these type of movies, and just watch you a fun Christmas movie to just turn your brain off and be like, Christmas time is here. So in that way, like I didn't hate it. I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed Lacey Chabert's performance. And I enjoyed Craig Robinson. I thought he was fun. I really liked Joe Lo Truglio as the deputy. He was really funny. I enjoyed him a lot. Which he's one of my favorite comedic actors. I've enjoyed him since seeing him in Reno 911 and then in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So seeing him here, when he plays a cop, he's funny. Okay, he just knows how to. There's one joke in particular. I was like, man, that's funny. And also shout out to Katie Mixon Greer. I like her in anything she's in. I just enjoy her. But yeah, overall, it's fine. It's very like an okay movie. And that's all I think it needed to be for me to have a good time. Jonathan, what'd you think?
I agree with the sentiments. I had a good time with it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It definitely put me more into the Christmas spirit. It's one of those movies that immediately it doesn't really matter, the acting or the plot or whatever, just as long as it puts you in the Christmas spirit. That's all that really matters. And this one did. I I Craig Robinson, there were a few moments where I did actually like chuckle, and I was like, "Oh, hey, that's funny." And Craig Robinson helped with that because he was a really good part of it, and I think the chemistry was good between Lacey Chabert and Dustin Miller. Is it Dustin Milligan?
Milligan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they had some good chemistry, and he played like the aloof snowman. I felt like really well. I kind of wish I'm not gonna be critical with this movie, but I kind of wish that they leaned more into the campiness of it, particularly with Lacey Chabert's character. I thought she was a little bit too serious for me at some points. I'm like, calm down, it's Christmas. But also kind of wish not I guess wish, but like I would have been interested maybe to see how like Katie Mixon Greer, if if she would have been in that Lacey Chabert role, I would have. I think her
I mean,
personality.
she has
lends,
been in multiple Hallmark-esque movies.
right.
Yeah.
I feel like her kind of style, her character type, maybe lends itself more to that. You know, this type of movie. But I get it. Lacey Chabert was like the straight character, but overall, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. So
Now,
spoiler time.
Spoiler time. If you are,
I don't imagine anybody really gives a shit about spoilers for this movie, but if you do,
You don't know.
we're gonna spoil this movie.
we're gonna spoil it.
So pause this, go watch the movie. It's on Netflix now, so you can watch it, and then come back and get you some podcast goodness.
Yeah, and it's called Hot. It's called Hot Frosty because it pretty much follows the plot line of the Frosty the Snowman movie.
But if he was hot, here's the thing though. With that, at least Frosty the Snowman clearly was like he knew what was going on. He's very coherent. He's very smart. This movie, despite how much fun I had with it, I was like, if you had an issue with Poor Things and the treatment of that character, while this character, like, this is a much more PG movie, there's not a whole bunch of sex. It's basically the same plot. Born hot, again, basically hot baby, being odd after and at sometimes ogled and taken advantage of child, and a like grown man with muscles body with like being basically reduced into an object to be fawned over for the entire runtime of this movie. And I was like, I wonder if people feel that way about this movie, or if because there's no sexual acts happening, they don't care, or because since it's a man, no one cares. I don't know. I was getting those vibes the entire movie.
I was very glad that at the end they made it clear that he is like an actual human now, because I was feeling some sort of way when she was falling in love with the snowman. There was some sort of like, I don't know, like bestiality esque.
Well, because it reminds me also of another movie that's a little controversial in that way is The Mannequin, where it's like it's a mannequin come to life to be this hot chick, but she doesn't know anything because she's an object that's now come to life. But that doesn't stop a bunch of dudes from not still wanting to bang her. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's a lot of that.
Or
it's like,
or Life Size, that the movie with Tyra Banks and Lindsay Lohan.
Right, that too. Yeah, Life Size as well. Like, it's, you know, so I don't know. On one hand, you're supposed to have fun with it. You're not supposed to think about it. But it's just a thing where I'm like, in this modern age,
You think about it.
Especially a lot of women in the, media or on the critical, critics will call it out when it's stuff like poor things. But this movie, ain't nobody said shit. And I'm like, it's the same thing. It's the same story.
I can't remember. What was she before Poor Things? I can't remember that movie at all.
She's like a corpse that he reanimate. But it's in that movie, she has a lot of sex with people, and through her sexual awakening, finds her independence as a person.
Nope,
Oh,
you're gone.
my camera did it again. It unplugged.
Oh, no.
This happened.
Is it gonna be
during
disembodied
Wizard of Oz.
voice Jerome for the rest of the episode now?
Probably.
I think there is a difference because, like, with Life Size, nobody really thought about the sexy baby trope with that either, because she didn't really have, as much sex. With Poor Thing, it's very called out. I think when it's such a high sexual aspect. This movie, Hot Frosty, she did keep him at arm's length. She's like, hey, I don't know you. The rest of the town's like ogling him, but she's also like,
But she was
you
catching
clearly
feelings.
don't know anything. Yeah. Well, he was like being all masculine and taking care of the household because she couldn't. Because unlike him, she couldn't sit down and watch a TV program or, look up
A
dummy.
YouTube video.
A YouTube
Or
video.
just call a damn repairman. Like, that's literally all she had to do.
Pretty much.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't seem like because she was pulling out money out of her safe. Granted, she didn't have enough to pay the cop, but
She had enough to pay a repairman to fix some damn steps. And not even step. Actually, correction.
you know what?
Fix a step. One singular.
Oh, you don't want to repair the step by, but it's like snowing outside. Repair the heater.
Right.
That's the top of your list. It is freezing outside. Also,
It's a safety hazard.
yeah, it's such a safety hazard because like you could
If
literally
it's
freeze
cold
in
enough
your
that
apartment.
you can't even walk around your house without like basically 2 blankets and socks and like and it's so cold that when you put your coat on, you have to do it quick. Like bring the blanket with you, take the blanket off real quick, put the coat on real fast. Like it's that cold in your house. You need to get the heat fixed.
Shit like
But
that.
then good old Frosty wouldn't be.
Sorry, first of all, good old Frosty fixed everything but the heater because in the
No,
end of the movie,
I think he
fixed the heater.
did fix it, but she just wouldn't turn it up.
No, because in the end of the movie, that was her like big moment of I can finally take care of things around the house too. She fixes the heater.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I think they just kept it cold for him. Speaking of him, one of the things about him is that he's cold all the time. Like he has like 20 degrees lower body temperature. And I love Katie Greer's character when Lacey Chabert's character. Hold on, let me get their actual names because I just
Right.
am
we've
calling
been
Kathy.
calling- I don't.
Kathy is the
That's
main
right.
character. Dottie is
when
the
Kathy goes and tells Dottie this man thinks he's a snowman come to life, Dottie's like, oh, he does have 20 degrees lower body temperature and he's cold. Well, my diagnosis as a town doctor is yes, he is a snowman come to life. No questions.
I
You're
love
like,
that she's just
maybe
like,
we should get her
yeah,
to
I
the
mean,
psych
it makes
ward and
sense.
Yeah, she's
And
like,
that
he
happened.
may be a snowman.
That happened with the whole damn town.
The whole
At
town
the
was
end
like,
of the movie,
he's a
they're like,
snowman.
Yeah.
You know what that actually reminds me of? Did you guys ever see Lars and the Real Girl?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's where this guy like ordered a sex doll and he like thinks it's a real girl and the town doctor's like, well, if you pop his delusional bubble, he might go insane. So like just play along that it's a real girl. And the whole town gets in on it. Like this sex doll is like reading to children and to a point where one of the women in town is like taking her to come join a book club and he's like, I just want to spend time with her. And they're all like, she has a social life and you need to accept that. Like they're defending her about coming out and having a good time. And this kind of felt like that, where it's like, yeah, he's a snowman. Okay, so let's immediately put him around children. That's the best way.
I don't
We all
think
kind of
they
believe he's a
knew. I
delusional
don't think
man.
the town knew the entire time that he's a snowman, but they weren't like. But when they found out that he was a snowman, they were ready to like be like, oh, okay, we accept that.
You're telling me nobody in that small town gossiped that there's a man who thinks he's a snowman?
No, because Dottie keeps it to herself, like because Kathy asked her to. She's like, because also that kind of sounds crazy. So Dottie believed it, and they did spread the rumor that hey, the hot snowman's missing. Do you think? We don't know. Like no one confirmed it. It's just everyone assumed or maybe like had a presumption.
Okay, what about the fact that this man ran outside and shoved snow into his overalls, even at the middle school? He was outside in the front yard shoving snow. I would not want that type of
He's
person
just
around my
weird,
house.
all right? White people wear shorts and flip-flops in the wintertime here in Seattle all the time. White people don't have regular body temperatures. They're fine.
And flip-flops, and then they're sticking snow down their front of the overalls and rubbing it against your chest. All right, that's a whole nother crazy.
I'm just saying. Although I love that Dottie wasted no time and friggin' Kathy out here cock blocking. Because Dottie immedately, when they come to the conclusion, what do we do with them? She's like, Jack, you know what you need to do? You need to come live with me. And Kathy's like, no, he should he don't need to do that. I'm like, I'm sure Dottie was like, bitch, I'm trying to get something going here. What are you doing?
Because if Kathy let him go with Dottie, it would turn into 4 things pretty quickly.
That's
when we would have this issue.
Yeah,
different movie.
Rated.
You know what I mean? Jack would learn how to use a whole different type of tool.
Lord.
He would have melted quick. The movie would have been over.
You know what I mean?
It's a family-friendly movie, the both of you.
Ain't no damn family-friendly movie. When that lady got stuck in the snow, and he's like, "You want me to get behind you and push her?" Like he's talking about her car, but he's like, "You want me to get behind you and push?" She's like, "Oh yeah." It's just like, dang, lady, like, don't you have a husband or something?
Just like the idea that Kathy invited this man into his house. She thinks he's crazy, but then she's like, yes, come live with me in my home
Because
as
he
a single
asks.
woman.
He says, I want to go live with Cat.
I have a feeling that the person who made the snow sculpture was what's her name? Was it Jane? Was that the lady who gave her the scarf?
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Jane Miller, like Lauren
Uh,
Holly,
yeah.
who
I have a
plays her.
I have a feeling that it was her because she was trying to. First of all, her husband is a snowman, and I know that because she was like she was giving that look the second she gave her the scarf.
Oh no. Sorry, Mel. You're thinking of Sherry Miller's character is Mel. She was the one who gave her the
Okay,
scarf.
yeah,
Yeah. The IMDb is out of
yes,
order, so it's
I
like hard
know.
to.
when I clicked on the see all for the full cast list, it only gave me like 4 people, so I don't know what's going on with IMDb.
But I think I like, especially when she does the wink and it does the ding thing. I was like, is she
Uh-huh.
magic? Is she the magic
She
woman
is.
in this movie?
That's how she knew that the scarf was gonna work because she's like, this worked on me 35 years ago. Now it's gonna work on you. This is how I found mine.
I was expecting a joke though, and it's a joke I maybe would have written if I was writing the script when she's like, I wore this red scarf and then I met the love of my life. And I was expecting her husband to be like, and then when he rejected her, I stepped in. She got stuck with me.
That's a little bit of an old joke to play nowadays.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
or
I
that
know,
or the
but it's this type of movie that I'm like, I expected that type of joke in this type of film because I think it would have been cheesy and fun.
That's
But I
right.
mean, regardless, they were cute. They were a cute old couple.
And her lady friends. Anytime Frosty showed, I keep calling him Frosty. Jack showed up.
I
They
mean,
were
he is
always
Frosty the
thirsting.
Snowman, just
Right.
hot version.
Top
They
Frosty.
were always thirsting over him.
For
At
real,
the end, sorry, I just want to say this. At the end, when Craig Robinson showed the picture, he's like,
Yeah.
he was naked, and they're like, ooh.
Yo, she got out her seat so damn fast. She's like, hold up, wait, I need copies. I need to see this. That was too funny. I was like, that's a good joke. That's fun.
Like Craig Robinson's character so much more. I think that I don't know if you guys liked him as much as I did. I thought he was so much fun because he was just this like intense
He
cop.
was
They're
the
like,
lighthearted antagonist.
I thought he was fun. I enjoyed him, but I think I like Joe Lo Truglio more just because it felt like he was a character with a little bit more depth. Like, he's definitely like a cop, and so he's on Sheriff Nate's side, but at the same time, he also is like a person. Sheriff Nate feels like a caricature. His whole entire character is
one-track
wrapped up
mind.
in wants to be a CSI detective, can't be, and that's literally it. That's his entire demeanor, which is fine for this type of antagonist. You know, I don't expect him to be like Magneto or something with like levels of like layers upon layers of depth into why he is the way he is. It's just the fact I was like, okay, is this going to be your entire joke? Is the sunglasses thing? And then you play, and then of course it's Craig Robinson. So you got to have him play the piano and sing a little bit because that's, if Craig Robinson's in
it's
your story,
contracted in.
yeah, you got to have him do it. All right. Just like how if like in Dustin Milligan's contract, it was like, look, you gonna be shirtless. Okay. I don't care if it's cold outside. You gonna take your damn shirt off and show off these muscles.
Which I saw before I watched the movie. There was a TikTok that came across, and it was an interview, and the interviewer was like, yeah, so did you have like a strict workout regimen before this? And he was like, well, it was, I got the call, and then two weeks later we started filming. Great. So you just look like that. All right. Thanks for like rubbing it in.
Well, it's because I was looking at his IMDb because I was like, I feel like I've seen him before. And it's like, actually, I
He's
haven't.
apparently
But
in Schitt's Creek.
he's mostly a TV
Yeah.
actor and mostly in like a lot of things that he would have to be in shape in because he's like the heartthrob character of most of the TV shows he's in as the like hot guy who's got muscles and stuff like that. So it kind of is like how he looks 24/7 because he kind of has to.
Well,
It's what pays
he's
the
not
bills
only
is him
the
looking like that.
He's not only the heartthrob character in like a lot of the TV shows I've seen him. He's a heartthrob character that's like the gardener or the construction work or something that's like a physical like job where he can't just be like, I'm wearing a suit and then he can like kind of let himself go because he's hiding under a shirt and a jacket. No, this man is like lifting shit all the time. They have him working out on set just on his scenes alone.
Oh, that's
Oh,
where I see. Okay, I have
Schitt's
seen
Creek.
him in. No, not Schitt's Creek. Although he is in that too. I saw The People We Hate at the Wedding. That wedding movie with Kristen Bell that's on Amazon Prime. That's where I've seen him from. He's the love interest in that movie. It's a fun movie. It's actually a fun rom-com. If you haven't seen The People We Hate at the Wedding, it's pretty good.
He's Canadian, and I knew he was Canadian when I watched the movie when he said tomorrow, and when there was one other word, but I could tell. I was like, there's that Canadian accent coming through.
But yeah, I mean, he's fun in this movie. He's very like, he plays the aloof character pretty well, like fish out of water character pretty well. And I think, you know, the fact that like, I do appreciate that like his physicality is part of the story. He's not just like, yes, he is like the, you know, it's a very much a romance story. So they play off of the fact that, hey man, he looks hot, but also it's like, it adds to some of the comedy too, that he's very aloof to like the fact that he's hot. To him, he's just like, this is just what people look like, right? I mean, I don't understand what the big deal is. And they're like, no, dude. Like, and I love that it's the deputy to be like, dude, are you kidding me? You are shredded. You are hot. All right. I don't know. How can you not see? Do you not know what you look like? You're a 10, bro. You got the hair. All you need is a good beard. And you'll have all the ladies eating out the palm of your hand.
You know what I also thought about at the beginning of this film when he first gets the scarf, the magical scarf? One, I feel like it grew like 10,
yeah, because they had to tape it to his. He had to cover up because he sneezes, bends over, and it does not move.
Right. I was like,
yeah.
Who pinned this to the snowman? Like, that was there for modesty reasons.
Yeah, it's like curves. Yeah. Anyway, also, as a person, like, I gave you this, I would, as Mel, if the scarf was not magical, I would be upset as her friend.
Oh, me
because I
too.
just told you the importance of the scarf, about how I met my husband through this. This is something really personal and important to me. And you give it to a snowman who's going to melt, so it's going to end up on the ground come just like January.
Covered in water?
Yeah. Like,
right,
that's gonna ruin the fabric.
I said the same thing when she put it on the snowman in the daytime, and I was like, and Mel sitting there in the window like, hold up, bitch. I know you did not just put this shit on the stove. I can see you. We have big ass glass windows. I just saw you, dude. I just gave that to you literally minutes ago.
Right. Like, who would, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, if I'm given a gift of a scarf and being told that this is very meaningful, why would I just put it on a snowman that I didn't create that same day
and then leave? I mean, went home. It's not like she just went to the cafe. I'll come back later because the cafe's across the street. She went home, slept that night. Like, she had no intention of coming back to get that scarf. Yeah.
That's like a knitted scarf. That's water's gonna seep through and just ruin everything. But yeah, I thought about
clearly she didn't care about the scarf, because when she saw it on Jack, she didn't even recognize that it was the scarf that she put on him.
Yeah, she
thought that was right.
Mel did. Mel was like, "Ooh, that's an interesting, nice scarf, Jack." And I feel like Mel should have been like, "You better be lucky this shit worked out, because I would be real pissed." Kathy.
So the way she took the picture of the snowman after she put the scarf on him, it was this close to his face. What was she taking a picture of? Just like his nose and eyes? Like, what was that? I was like, who's taking a picture that close? Like, you didn't like step back and be like, oh,
but what's funny is at least the picture she has is not that, because the picture she has is from the waist up. So it's like, what type of magic phone do you have? That's the true magic.
Did you guys count how many tropes were in this movie?
No.
I know there was plenty. the one that stood out to me was the shopping montage trope.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. I love the Christmas.
They even did that Pretty One.
Mm-hmm. Like when they of course do the dance at the Christmas thing. I thought that was cute though, with the kids. When that middle school boy asked out that girl and she was super cute. I was like, you guys are too cute. Maybe it's the future.
And it turned out, and plot twist, it turned out to be the son of the sheriff.
Yeah, because there's no other black people in this town.
That would have actually been a fair assumption. Or at least like a brother or nephew or something.
Which is why the whole time I was like, brother, you tripping, all right? Are you kidding me? A whole town of white people and everyone's just like, here's the thing. You know the world's turned backwards when you're in a town of white people and they got to tell the one black person, hey, you need to chill, bro. It is always the other way around. It's the white sheriff out here tripping. Nah, there's something going down. The black people have to be like, bro, it ain't that serious. You need to chill out. You doing too much.
Technically, in those movies, it's usually the one black older man telling the sheriff, hey, you need to understand.
Oh, wait, that's not
Not
true.
really,
There
like,
are
a
other
group of
black
them.
people because the cook in Kathy's Diner is also black.
I don't think that makes it better.
I'm just
Having as a
saying.
cook.
And apparently, I don't know where she. Oh yeah, and then the other older black lady that was part of the girl group.
Oh
of the older
yeah,
ladies.
yeah. Mhm,
Her. Yeah.
Which
She's
that
a-
was-
she's
we
a-
could assume
she's his
she's
mom.
probably the wife
His-
or the mom of Sheriff Nate. So we could assume she's
Uh-huh.
part of the In fact, they're all related. All the black people. This isn't a racist thing. They literally are the only black family in the whole town.
I mean, they don't have to help their case by having the only black man and the only black child being, father and son. So I would have loved had they had a ginger character, like a ginger boy, and be like, yeah, that's my dad. Really? Okay. Okay.
No, because that's
like
then
it.
it would have been weird because that black kid asked out the ginger girl who she has her red hair and everything. She's adorable.
They should have reversed it. The
That was
ginger
her
boy.
dad.
No. Had the ginger boy be the black sheriff's son. Feel like the mom's genetics were just super strong, man. Which can happen. Sometimes that one parent just got them strong genes. But that might be adding just too much of a layer to the show, to the movie.
Hey, they did it in Cinderella, and no, we didn't question it. Remember?
We did it and
So-
became one of the best Cinderella adaptions.
Exactly.
That's all he need. This is all he needed. He needed he was already looked good, and then they had the nerve to cut. Like they didn't want him to look too hot because with the beard too, the man out here looking like Frosty Jesus. He
I saw
should have
people
been
under that
world,
video-
world's sexiest man for People magazine.
Under the video I watched, people were like, "I didn't even recognize him as Frosty."
Look at him. Look at those. Look at the difference.
Yeah, those are like two different people.
Two different people completely. That's insane. Crazy. Also, I did appreciate the Mean Girls joke in here.
Oh yeah,
That
we
was
got a
fun.
Lindsay Lohan cameo.
Well, Netflix was double dipping because it was a Netflix movie that they were referencing on the television. But also then they were like, but we're also going to make the Mean Girls reference where she's like, oh, that looks like a girl I went to high school with. It's like, ha ha. I see what you're doing.
Which
That's how you do a nice wink
wh-
to the audience.
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
Which is what I was mentioning at the beginning. Like, I wish they would have played into the campiness a little bit. They did, especially with the Jack character. But I wish for Lacey Chabert's character, she would have had a little bit more of Kristen Bell's character in the woman in the window across the street from the man and the whoever. I wish she would have had a little bit more like self.
You want to have a little more
referencing.
main character syndrome?
Yeah, because it was yeah.
I
Hers was
honestly
a little bit
appreciate
too
that she was more
straight-laced.
laid back because I felt like with how zany and weird Craig Robinson is and the deputy as well, I was like, I already got enough zany weird energy from those two. I don't need my main character to also, and Jack on top of that being basically a baby in a man's body as he like basically Mr. Magoo's his way through life where he's just good at everything as long as he saw it on TV. And like it's just so I was like, I'm good. I got all my campy characters. I don't need any more.
What I wished was that they had better outfits. Because one of the things I do like about these like movies is, did I freeze for a second? Is the
No.
outfits. They're usually just really gorgeously, and some of the dresses are amazing. And like it is clearly Christmas. You are dressing in nothing but green and red, which when you look objectively together is not a good it's not a complementary color because they're
thought
on
they
the
are complementary
opposite spectrums
colors.
of like
Oh, they're
No,
it's
they're
not it's split complementary. That's what it's called.
yeah, it's split complementary. So they're like technically they can't go by side, but like they really shouldn't. It's the same way like green and blue. It's green, blue, and red, right? They
Those are
like can all
the
go next to
primary
each other.
colors, technically. Well, depending on
Yeah.
who you ask, like, because it's actually, yeah, no, those are the primary colors. Yeah, red, green, blue.
Isn't there like magenta? Yeah, where it's like
It's
those are
either
just
red,
the
green, blue,
solid
or
colors. And there's solid
cyan, magenta, and
magenta's one, isn't it?
that's like the
I
technical,
feel like
the, like,
magenta's only meant for a printer.
true primary colors. It's like, yeah, that's why printers use it. It's like cyan, magenta, and CM. Like, what's the Y and the K stand for? Yellow, and then key
You
is
and your
black.
cyan.
Cyan's
You
a
and
part
your
of
cyan.
it. It's one of them.
But the point is, I got off track. Is that I wish the outfits were a little bit better, and I think that would have played into the campiness too, because she's owning some small diner, and she's like having this house that's wrecked. But somehow her outfits are always on point because she is the main character. She's
'Cause she's got
always
a priority
fabulous.
straight.
Going on. Yeah, like she is wearing that like Belle style going dress, even though like and running around in like high heels, even though she could fall at any second on like
Listen,
ice.
the
And it's
house
not
can be
safe for wearing.
raggedy, but she can't. Okay, she's got to look
Right.
sharp.
Exactly. Exactly. But I get what you say with the campiness, because like I told you, I found a lot of tropes in this movie. They really fit them in there, but they kind of have it a more subtle, like, oh, she's a widow. Okay. Oh, it's called Hope Rings, like literally having hope, And she, of course, owns a restaurant, a bakery, something to do with food. It's just like they're there, but they're not really played into it.
Also, and this is this is the only part of the movie I thought was like, oh, that's interesting, is that like Jack isn't immediately like he does fall in love with her, but he isn't immediately like they do the kiss and then whatever. It's like, it's actually a pretty interesting dilemma in this movie with him being a snowman, and that he's like, no, you've already lost one person you fell in love with. I don't want to put you through that again, because I'm definitely going to die. Like, I'm gonna melt at some point. And I'm like, that's interesting, that's different, because most of the time the Frosty story is that like he just melts and he's like, yeah, see y'all next Christmas. Bye. I'm out.
But in this version, I don't know, they could have stowed him in a freezer or something. Like,
that'd be a
Yeah,
sad
he's an
life
industrial freezer.
if like literally like most of the year you spend all your time in the freezer at the diner. If anyone wants to see you, that's where they can find you.
Guys remember that movie? I think it was called Jack Frost, with
Michael Keaton.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they had to transport him to the mountains because he's starting to melt
I need
because
to
it
watch
was
that
like
movie.
starting to become spring.
It's been a minute since I've seen it. It's a
I
long
remember it being more fun. Well, there's always next week. I don't know what we're reviewing next week, but maybe Jack Frost keeps the snowman thing going.
No, this year we're doing Home Alone. All right, we gotta do Home Alone this year.
Why do we have to do Home Alone?
I'm just joking. We don't have to do Home Alone. I'm
What is
just.
the significance of Home Alone?
It's a great Christmas
Other than
movie.
talking about how
I
like
love it.
terrible the parents are and what an asshole that uncle is. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, Kevin sucks too.
He's a child. Children suck.
The whole family, really. The fact that they didn't really care about
Damn the whole family.
I mean, that's when you're rich and entitled. So, like,
Yeah, you see that house?
that
They're destined to
big old
suck.
house.
At least the mom came back. The rest of them were like, look, the tickets were expensive. I don't give a damn how long it's taken. We're getting on this plane. The mom was the only one who was like, rain, sleet, or snow, I gotta get there. Like, I'll do whatever it takes to get to my son.
And then next year they left him again. Granted, they were at the airport. They anyway.
They
but,
did get him to
yeah.
the airport. They just messed up in getting him on the plane.
Mhm.
So to be fair, but
I think at that point, CPS should have involved themselves. Because there's got to be an active case. We left our son internationally. And second time, yeah, we lost him again crossing state lines. Are you just trying to do abandonment? Because the firehouse is, a safe place. And like certain hospitals, you just got to look for certain signs of the
our
building.
son
I'm going.
is a psychopath. Okay, do you hear what he did to the robbers while we were gone? He turned our house into a walking death trap with
that's what
multiple
he had to-
traps.
People have
He
done
had
the
to
like
survive.
people have done the thing of like, if this were real, those robbers would have died like 7 times over.
Oh yeah, they would have died plenty of times before then. Like just with the ice on the stairs alone would have at least possibly paralyzed them or at least given them concussions. And the electrocution, the burning of the hand, the paint cans, the bricks
stepping on the needle. Yeah,
the bricks from all the way at the top of the building. Like he would have killed them a long time before they even got in the house.
But in all fairness, those robbers were idiots because who stands there screaming as paint cans are flying to your face?
I mean, that's true. Or holds on to the doorknob that is currently sizzling your hand. You would have let go immediately. You wouldn't just be like, ah! Just hold on for dear life.
It was the shock that kept him holding on.
And Murph would have at least died because there's no Harry. It was a Harry or Murph, one of the two. The one who gets electrocuted.
Murph was the tall one.
Yeah, Murph. Because when you turn into a skeleton because you're being electrocuted, you're dead. Your skin, all your skin came off, and you're you're dead. That's it. There's no more. There's no more of your life. It's over. After this, you're just either that or fun. Or here's a fun theory: they already died, and now they're in hell. This is their hell permanently to deal with Kevin and all of his
that explains the second movie why they kept messing with him, even though they learned not to mess with him in the first.
Right? They died a long time ago. Kevin's out here living his best life.
So, fun fact, I learned, if my phone will work, I learned from Jersey Boys regarding Frankie Valley.
Yeah, Frankie Valley.
Frankie Valley, yeah. Joe Pesci apparently was a crucial reason the Four Seasons was created. Joe Pesci had introduced, I forget which one because I saw the play with my mom on the cruise. Joe Pesci was just a crucial person who introduced the fourth member that really took the band, off. I think he was a major songwriter, the one that dealt with the records, that got them all the deals. And one of the reasons, Frankie Valley ended up getting really big. And I was like, that's so crazy. Joe Pesci, he worked at a bowling alley and he knew the guy who had the Four Seasons was like, hey, I got this other guy. And they're like, shut the fuck up. We don't care, Joe Pesci, get away from us. Like, leave us alone. Then he ends up being like, come on, you just talk with the guy. And then and then he becomes like Joe Pesci. And it was like, what? Joe Pesci worked at a bowling alley in Jersey? Not surprised, but surprised. Everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Joe Pesci is one of those people that people don't think about as much. Like, he's very underrated, but he's really good. I don't think I've ever seen a movie of Joe Pesci that I haven't enjoyed. His performance especially, but he's just good. He's a good actor. My Cousin Vinny's still one of my favorite movies of all time.
Shout out to Joe Pesci.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there's our mini review of Home Alone and Home Alone 2,
and our full review of
Hot Frosty.
Comment below if you've seen Hot Frosty or Home Alone or any Christmas movie for that matter. Tell us what you think. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you in the middle? Comment below. We'd love to hear what you have to say if you're on the YouTube channel. And if you're on the audio streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and so on and so forth, shoot us an email, thefirstonestodie@gmail.com. Shoot us your thoughts on the episode or on Hot Frosty or whatever. Just be nice because it's the Christmas season.
That's right.
'Tis the season for giving. Good reviews.
Exactly.
But Jonathan, where can people find you for socials?
You can find me at Jonathan Keys on. I'm contemplating dropping this first part, but you can find me on Twitter, X, whatever, Instagram, wherever you please. Might have a new sign off for me next week, but
you on Threads
Sky?
now?
Well, I heard the new thing is Blue Sky, so maybe I'll hop on that.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Mm-hmm. You can follow us everywhere at The First Ones to Die. You can email us, thefirstones-to-die@gmail.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe. And if you're listening to us, please give us a 5-star rating and a review. It would help us out immensely.
Yeah.
Alex, where can people find you?
Well, speaking of Blue Sky, you can find me on there as well as Instagram and TikTok at Alex and Nobody. You can find me also at the podcast TikTok, The First One to Die, where I post little clips of the episodes we have done, topics we may be doing, or my own little reviews as I am watching them at that moment. Also, if Twitter goes away, I'm sorry, if TikTok goes away, supposedly in
Oh, that's
January,
right. Yeah.
you can start finding us on Lemonade, but that's a weird Instagram thing. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't
Oh,
know what's
is
going on
Lemonade
there.
supposed to be the new TikTok replacement?
No, it doesn't have videos yet. That's what's
Oh,
weird.
then how?
So it's a weird thing. But just like it's starting there, just like if things are starting to go the way things are going, just like over there, it's already starting a build. Just saying. What about you, Jerome? Where are we finding you?
You can find me at Jerome Rett on Instagram, and also check out the YouTube channel for a bunch of extra content that you cannot get on the audio streaming platforms. We're next year planning to do a complete overhaul, new stuff going forward with the YouTube channel, so you're not going to want to miss it. So subscribe now while you have the chance, just before then, so you can be up to date and ready to get some of that new content. We're talking mini reviews, we're talking gaming videos, we're talking book reviews, vlogs, video versions of all the podcasts. It's a great time over there at the First Ones to Die YouTube channel. But if you're already there and you've already subscribed, thank you so much for your subscription. We appreciate your view. And also, feel free to like, favorite, share the video, do all the things that you know to do. But tune in next week for something. We don't know. We'll know when you do. But until then, have a good night, good morning, good evening, whenever you're listening to this. And we will see you for the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Alex, do you want to go next?
Sure.
All right.
What are your guys' guesses?
Are you a character?
Oh, that's
Yes, in a way. I'll give you a hint. I'm actually like a generic character from like a bunch of movies. Stereotype character. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of like, is it? I want to know what genre, but I don't.
Traditional slasher killer?
No.
I'm trying to think of like a plot specific, like extra or
Right.
something. Yeah.
No, but I am a main character.
You're a main character.
I'm the main character.
The
I mean,
main
are you a
character.
final girl? But like, how would you show that?
No, I have like main character syndrome.
What?
All
I'm such a
right.
main
Well,
character. That's like I have the main character syndrome.
all right. Well, I think it's time.
I think you gotta show us.
Right? Coming to the stage. Alex.
Every Hallmark Christmas girl.
Yes. Yes. I see
I would
it.
not have guessed that.
You know what's
I
funny?
I'm the every Hallmark Christmas girl. Even got my Santa mug. I have to hide the words because they're not very Hallmarky. They say nothing
see.
for you, whore.
Where's your
On there.
fetching handsome lead in green? 'Cause
Right.
that's how it
He
always
is
goes.
taking
Girls in
care of
red.
Sweater.
Hey, he's taking care of the tree farm right now,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I am newly engaged.
I
nice.
see. Nice.
Nice. Congrats.
You're ready
you.
to leave the big office. Yeah.
What's the conflict that's gonna get resolved in about 15 minutes before the end of the movie?
Go on over to the YouTube channel at The First Ones to Die to see all the fun stuff we got going on here, like mini reviews, book reviews, gaming videos, vlogs, all types of stuff.
Please follow us at The First Ones to Die everywhere. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe.